I'm Kevin Washington.
I'm Kareem Peals.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Kareem.
Likewise.
So Kareem, where did you grow up and how did you get involved with the Y?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, and I first got started in the YMCA in about 2017. I applied to go to Carroll-Rosenwald. I started off as a youth enrichment instructor, and with enough hard work, I got promoted to be program coordinator, and then the next one will be program manager, and up and up and up from there. Tell me a little about yourself, Mr. Washington.
Been working for the YMCA for 43 years. It's been a great experience, and it's been, I would say, fulfilling for the kind of career that I never thought I'd have when I was a young boy growing up in the streets of South Philadelphia.
So you have done it for 43 years. Me, I have done it just for 4. I've been at Carroll-Rosenwald for about 4 years. I'm going to test you right quick. What's the 4 pillars of the Y, Mr. Washington?
Caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility.
And that's where all my activities are focused.
Destiny, huh?
Yes, I will. That's where all my characteristics, because I think those characteristics really help shape a young person's life. This is our garden area right here, from peppers, from tomatoes to thyme. So I had a kid particularly come out here and tell me how him and his dad used to do this at home.
Wow.
So I even allowed him to teach me some new things.
Just goes to show you can learn from everybody.
From everybody. We was on a field trip on the bus, and a kid asked me, Mr. K, why did you become a teacher? And I asked the kid, well, when did you have your first black male teacher? He said, well, you're my first one. Part of me felt a little heartbroken because there's not as many black males in education, but I did feel proud enough to know that I could be his first example. What advice would you give me as I develop my wide career?
I think it's a couple of things. One, continue to reach out, seek support, because it's all around you, so don't be afraid to ask. Okay. First and foremost, do not be afraid to ask. Secondarily, be assertive, be aggressive about where you want to go and what you want to do.
So you've been doing this for 43 years. Any memories that stick out to you?
Tons of memories. I can go down the list, but I met my wife at the Y.
Oh, wow.
So I met my wife at the Y. So when I talk about the Y, I can speak about that one. The other experience that I talk about often that helped shape how I think happened here in Chicago. When I came here, we had a huge workforce development program. The street intervention program. We had work we were doing in the housing development. So what I found is that this one organization, which people so much associated with gym and swim, was doing significant social service work in communities of need. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with what we did in basketball and swimming, but we could be much, much more in terms of what we could do in communities. So if I see Kareem 5 years from now, what is it that you want to do in the Y?
I want to create a mentorship program. I can start off in the school I'm at and eventually localize it for the community. I want to make sure I'm doing something that matters, not only to me as a person, but that can affect the world as a whole.
Who are the people you hold up as people who you would love to emulate?
My uncle himself, he was a huge influence in my life. He had about 6, 7 brothers and sisters as well, and he was the only one that graduated from college. He instilled the importance of education within us. So that's why it's so important for me as a man of color to show the kids in my program that are of color the same thing, that they can see that I can accomplish my goals, that I elevated myself, that I come to work in a timely manner and are very prepared. It solely rubs off on them, and they can follow and do even greater things that I even began to even imagine.
You have a really gift that I would hope you would continue to nourish. Helping relate to them and them seeing you as a genuine person is so key for their development. So you really do have a gift. And I'm a pretty good gut judge of character.